I love to draw words and letters, and not only because it's fun, it's because I can give myself my own personal pep talk while I'm also exploring creatively and making some beautiful artwork. Today, let's draw a word. I'm picking the word brave because I feel like I need to support myself in being brave right now personally. I'm going to use Caran D'ache Neocolors, both 1 and 2, and a water brush pen. This is a great, easy project you can do for your own self-care or to send to a friend who might be appreciative of the support. Receiving a hand-drawn art card in the mail is one way you can show someone how much you support and care for them when there really might not be any other words. Guess what? You can draw a supportive word for them, and that's a wonderful way to show your support. So if you're ready, let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to my video today. So today, doing something a little bit different today. Let's do some expressive lettering. I wanna letter one word. I'm just gonna hand letter it. I have a piece of 4x6 black paper. It's the Canson XL black drawing paper. I've washi taped down a 4x6 piece of that, and I'm gonna hand letter with these little stubby bits of Neocolor 1 and 2 pastels by Caran D'ache. So I'm just gonna choose a real quick palette here, and I actually really feel inspired by this washi tape that I used to tape down my paper. I'm going to give myself a little bit more leeway than actually choosing like 5 or 6 colors. I'm just going to pull out a few different ones and just use whatever. You can see I use this yellow color a lot. I think it's called yellow, citron yellow. No, Chinese green. I use that one a lot. This is one of my favorites too. It's lime green. Anyway, I just wanted to do something a little different today. Do a very minimally edited video, minimally edited and sort of real-time talky. Put the crayons I'm using in there. So I'll just put them off to the side over here. So the word that's sticking out in my head today, right now, is the word brave. And the reason I'm doing that is because I feel like I need to be brave right now. I'm going to minimally be editing this video. I've been really working on being consistent on my YouTube channel with art content because that is ultimately really what I am interested in doing right now. So I'm feeling a cursive vibe right now, and I'm just gonna write it out, and you'll see how I sort of went a little bit up like that, but not totally. And I like to vary the height because that adds a lot of interest. These crayons don't stay sharp. I'm calling them crayons, but they're really marketed as pastels. And they are pastels, but they're kind of glorified crayons. But they're great. They're like one of my very favorite things. And there's two kinds. The Neocolor ones are not water soluble. The Neocolor 2s are water soluble. I think this is the one because it's not melting in my hand. The Neocolor ones, I have them mixed up in my tub. So in this little tub, they're mixed up. I usually try to keep them separate, but I don't have that many ones, so I usually keep them off to the side, and then they get mixed up with my other ones. So, because, you know, eventually I have smaller ones and I just sort of dump them in together. But I usually just buy the 2s, but 1s are good once in a while. Like the a Neocolor one is really good. Like, it's great to have a white one because you can use it as resist. If you, or a black one, like any kind of a basic color that you would use for resistance. So if you're gonna like paint water-based paint over it, these are great for that. So yeah, I'm really trying to grow my YouTube channel. I'm working on being very consistent. I really want to do more art content on YouTube. So that is really my goal. So you see the little connectors, and this line here is thinner, and then the V is thicker. And then that's a good way to separate the letter forms. Any lettering purists, please be forewarned. You're not going to get technical lettering talk here. So I'm just getting the lettering down right now, and it's okay that they're uneven. I actually think it makes it more interesting when different letters are different heights. I'm just trying to get the word art down before I start embellishing with decorative elements around it. So this is just something that I like to do, is to counterbalance elements. So, and not perfectly, because that's boring. So I put one here, I put one green element there, and then this one comes up through here, but it's a different shape and it's a little bit different. That's one way I like to balance things out. I call it asymmetrical symmetry or symmetrical asymmetry. Take your pick, whichever you like. You can really call it whatever you want, but that's basically what it is. And I did some underdrawing here of this color, this peachy color, and I'm kind of tempted to take a water brush to it, but I'm not going to do that right now because quite honestly, I know this is mixed media paper, but I'm a little dubious on doing it. Maybe I'll be brave and do it. I don't know. Hold on. Let's see. Do I want to take a water brush to this? I might. Okay, well, I have a water brush right here. So let's do it. Let me just make sure the water's flowing. I'm going to take a really light water brush to this. Just really gently. Not gonna... I want to make sure I get a good gradient back to that black. So I keep wiping it on my hand, actually. But basically, you'll see what I'm going to do with this. So this is just an underpainting for a flower that's going to go on top. And I think what I'll also do is take a little blow dryer to this to make sure it dries quickly. So I really like to combine elements. I love mixed media, and I really like to combine art supplies. I very rarely will use like just one thing, like just Neocolor or just paint pen. I like to mix things up. I'm tempted, I have my paint pens handy, and I'm tempted to throw some paint pens in here later, but maybe I will, I'm not sure. Anyway, so right now this kind of looks a little icky, but we're gonna try and fix that and make it look better. I'm doing this for a reason. There is a method to my madness here. I really like the texture that the Neocolor gives over the paper when you just put it dry. And now when I wet it, that texture goes away, but I want to draw some more on top in a minute. So now I'm just doing like a light, I'm just giving it a little bit of a light base of sort of a ground. And then I'm going to draw over it again. And that time we're going to use it for more of the texture and the pigment, but so it has something to sit on. I'm going to grab my blow dryer. All right. So now it's nice. I think it's nice and dry. And just a quick tip. When you do blow dry to dry areas and you have anything that's like a Neocolor type of thing, these can melt. So they're not going to just like melt immediately, but just know that if you have blow dried right near one and then you grab a Neocolor too, you might have some it might be extra soft for you. So I'm gonna do a little bit more now of the lighter color, and then we're gonna put some red on top of that. Let's try a green this time. See how this looks. One thing I want to be careful about is to not fill in all of my paper, because I want the Neocolor to actually have something to grab onto. So let's do like a nice little red flower up here. So I'm failing miserably at not filling up the entire paper surface with wax, but that's okay. I'm gonna work with it. I might have to, we'll see if I have to grab a paint pen later. I'm not really sure at this point, but all right, let's use the Neocolor to separate out these petals of the flower. And I'm not using any actual resource material here, except for my tape, the tape that I'm using to hold this down, because that's really what sort of inspired this. So I'm taking this peachy color into the different elements of this into this greenery here, because I do want to really tie in, make sure that I tie in my entire palette. I think I'm going to use a little bit of white on the flower. If I can. I think this is a Neocolor 1. Is it? No, I think that's a 2. It's pretty easy to tell if they get mixed up between 1 and 2, because the ones are much, much harder, and the ones do not, they won't blend, because that's not what they do. So those are not going to blend on you. Those are going to stay where you put them, and they're not going to go away. But anyway, I am feeling this word because I'm feeling this word today because I'm trying to be brave. I want to be brave. I feel like I am brave, but sometimes, you know, bravery can still be, you can still have insecurities, and you can still have concerns, and you can still, you know, have worries and things, and be brave at the same time. Or continue, I should say. You can still continue to be brave, even if you are feeling those feelings. That's natural and normal. Just gonna do the side fill action over here. So I like doing this because it fills some of the paper pulp, but it doesn't fill all of it. And I don't want to fill all of it, because if I fill all of that paper pulp, then my pastels aren't going to have anything to grab onto when I want to draw them. So, you know, you might want to do that like at the end of a piece, or like I'm doing here and here, like, okay, I actually have a habit of doing that, but I'm trying to chill out. Yeah, so I do want to start doing more videos where I'm talking and drawing at the same time. Okay. Let's see what we're going to do here. Just adding a little pattern over here and over here to sort of help tie in some decorative elements here. And then I think I overdid it with the pressing. Why? And it's funny, I'm sitting here talking to you about the pros and cons of doing that, and then here I am. And I don't usually use black, just a black, a straight black. I like to use like a color, but here we're going to use black today, because I think I want to just see if I can do this entire piece in Neocolor and stay away from using another type of medium, another pen or something. Use it a little bit like I would if I was using a pen, just to outline here. That's what I'm doing with this. Maybe I'll use it in some of the letters like this. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That works. Yes, I like this. I like that. Yeah, I think if I could go back in time 5 minutes from here, I would have not put the outline outside like that. But I'm going to put a few little dots over here because I kind of like this overlap, underlap thing. Kind of like that feel. How it's sort of, you can't really tell whether it's like in the distance or whether it's on top. And I like that. I love like tricking the eye like that. So this I wouldn't do again. I'm going to actually do a little experiment. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a paper towel and my water brush, and I'm going to wash that off because I can do that. See? Watch this. We're going to get rid of that. We are going to get rid of that. Oh. Let's zoom in a little bit closer over here. And let's fix this. So I'm working on my skills of talking while I do artwork. And this is one of the reasons why I really don't usually do real-time talkie videos, is just because I tend to, it's like juggling, you know what I mean? And I'm better like with one ball at a time, you know, like the art ball or the talk ball. So I usually do like voiceover afterwards, but I thought this could be interesting. And a lot of videos that I watch, I love to watch videos where the artist is talking while they're doing work. And usually when I do watch those videos, I'm marveling at the talents of the artist to be able to do all these things at the same time. And, you know, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to work it out. Now, I'm going to grab this peach again. Now I'm going in, trying to cover up that black a little bit actually, even though some of it here. Now we're just turning it into a darker red, but I'd kind of like to maintain the same-ish color red. But this is actually really nice. I just love these crayons so much. Because, you know, you can't do this type of thing with any pastel. Just go on in there and wash it out if you don't like how it was coming out. I'm actually going to hit this with a little bit of air dryer. So I was talking to a friend of mine today who has a very successful YouTube channel, and she is an artist on YouTube, and I will put her info in the description if you want to go follow her and watch her videos, because she's really great at doing what we're talking about. I mean, first of all, I do love her art, but I think she's extremely adept at doing the whole talking while you paint, which kind of blows me away. And it's kind of like, how can I get to learn how to do that so well? And you know what? Practice, I think. I really think it's practice. I think think you just got to do it, you know? Like some things you just got to start doing it and then learn as you go and get better. I'm going to actually see what I mean? This is a Neocolor too. Now look at those marks. Those marks are thicker and juicier than those marks. I sure hope the lighting is not too weird in this video, honestly, because it's this paper is sort of like, it's an interesting conundrum. It's black paper, but it sort of reflects the light a little bit, and it's not shiny. It's matte. It's totally matte paper, but there it's sort of smooth. Not this, but this is the same paper back here that I'm using for this. It's the Canson XL black, and it's kind of like, it's not shiny, but it's also not it doesn't like absorb the light, you know what I mean? So anyhow, now I'm just sort of adding bringing in the colors to the lettering. I kind of want to keep them light though. I used a red there and I'm not really sure why I did that, but except for variety being the spice of life. That's it. That's why I did that. There we go. Now, make a little green here. I want to keep the shape of my letters so they're still very readable. So I love the citron, or what is this again? It's not citron, it's Chinese green. I love this color so much. It's almost like a neon, but it's not. But it still really pops, and you can mix it. I love yellow as a general rule because yellow I like to mix yellow with almost anything. Not purple probably, but with almost any color. You can do like you can do a wash of yellow and change, and first of all tie things together, but also really change and warm up a piece, and it's great. I love yellow for that. Now this, doing a word like this, you want to support a friend, just cut up a piece of art paper to 4x6 size, right? Make them some word art and send it to them in a snail mail. That's what I'm intending to do. I think I might even do that with this piece. So now I'm pretty much done. I don't want to overwork this, and I usually don't have a problem like working something until it's just like I can almost not even work it anymore, like as you can see, because I'm still working on this. I won't leave it alone. But with these particular crayons, they are, you can if you're just using these, it's not super hard to overwork something, because just by the nature of them, they are opaque, even though you can do water wash with them, which is nice, but you know, there's a limit to everything. Like if you overuse it, like for instance, this corner, I'm not really touching that corner anymore because I've pretty much I think I've done everything I can do with these materials in that corner, because the paper pulp is completely filled in now. So I would have to wash that with some water, blot it to pick it up, blow dry it like crazy, And then I could probably use it again. I'm actually going to pick up a little bit of this black here because that's a little too black for me. I think I went a little bananas on that black. And I think what I might do is add a little bit of, let that dry and then add a little bit of lighter color maybe, or reassess afterwards. But yeah. So yeah, so there's a line with these Neocolors where that's one of the things I like to do with them, is to use them for mixed media, which is a great use for them, to mix them with other stuff. But I'm using them on their own. You can reach a point where you know you really can't do much more because they're filling in all of the paper pulp, and then there's really nowhere left to go after that. You know what I mean? Because you can't keep drawing on top of them, on top of layers and layers and layers, because then you just end up, it's actually, it feels a little bit, it's a little bit like, if you think of oil paint and how oil paint, you know, you can overwork it and it'll just turn to mud after a while. Kind of like that. But if you can find a way that these work for you, they are so much fun. This is not sponsored. This is not sponsored. I just love them. I love them, and I love to pull them out. I love to color with them. If I'm going to color, I color with them. I love to do mixed media with them. They play well with paint pens, like the Molotow paint pen. You can use them with that. You know, like anything, you got to sort of gauge the readiness to dive in with another type of material. Like, you want to make sure it's dry. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't jump in with both feet at the same time with paint pens in these. I mean, you can draw paint pen on top of this, but you got to be careful because it's going to pick up a little bit of the Neocolor, and vice versa with the paint pen. You know, you run into other problems. You might not necessarily pick up the paint pen once it's dry, but then there are other issues because it's a different texture laying down, and it doesn't play the same as it does on paper. But you can definitely use them together successfully with a little bit of you know, practice and figuring out each piece, each media, and figuring out how they play together. And it's, you know, it just takes a little bit of experimentation and time, and you know, little experimentation and time, and then you're good. So this is coming out pretty cute. I like it. I think what I want to do is, I'd like to fade the, let me think about this. Let's see if I can make that a little more, under, over. All right, so what I just was doing is I'm trying to decide where this line is coming from, and I decided that this part of the E comes over the V part, the part that sprang from the V. So I'm going to add a little shade there. Now I'm going to do a little separation from this R and the A, just like that. And then I'm going to just actually shape this part a little bit more, and I'm going to do a little bit of the over under thing here too. That gives me, and I'm going to do a little bit of it here too. I don't even think I really need to do it there, but it's nice to add a little shade, because now that makes it so much more dimensional. Just that one little blop that I put made it so much more dimensional. Oh, and here's a little quick tip. If you forget whether you're holding ones or twos in your hands, all you have to do is open your hand and see which ones are melty. This, I believe, is that a 1 or a 2? I think this might actually be a 1. I think this is a 1, Neocolor 1, and then this is a 2. This is a 2. I can feel they're tacky. Look at them. They're all over my fingers now. But, you know, these are fun. These are really fun to play with, and they mix with all kinds of stuff. Okay, just for kicks, I'm going to pull out, this is a Neocolor 1, and it's fluorescent pink. And I don't know if I even have any more room left on here to do this, but I'm gonna just use a little bit of it. Oh, look, it looks, it just ends up looking like a bright red because the paper's black. And it actually doesn't look much different from the reds that I used. And it's funny because I think this one has less white pigment in it than these. Like this has much more white pigment in it, so it's more opaque. And this one is a little bit more, runs a little bit more translucent, but on black paper, they look almost the same. That's pretty funny, huh? All right, well, I hope you guys like this. I'm gonna unpeel this because it's fun to watch paper unpeel. And then we can wrap this video up for the day. Here, I'm gonna take you down here, bend it a little bit, and let's peel this. See if we can do it without ripping anything. There you have it. Little 4x6 Neocolor artwork with just 8 colors. And you could even use less colors than that if you want. You don't need 8. You could use 4 even, or, you know, as many as you want, really. You could use as few or as many as you want. I did use a water brush. You don't necessarily have to. You can actually just use your finger and smudge if that's what you want, or you can use like a little thing of water and then you could just use your finger and finger paint with these if you want. Just something fun. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Please like and subscribe. I really could use the algorithm boost and I appreciate it like you would not believe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!